Hey guys, welcome back to Missing Out Mondays, where we tell you what we're into. Start your week off right. I'm Tari J.
I'm Lex Michael.
Lex Michael, what is it that you love this week?
Oh man, I don't know if I feel that enthusiastically about anything. I
Oh.
feel like if I could summon that level of enthusiasm, then my life would look very different. I would own at least 6 yachts.
It's too many yachts.
I wouldn't know what to do with them, but I'd have them. I'd have
Dog chasing cars.
Certainly can't be on that many yachts at once, so I don't. Anyway,
Yeah, you could stack them on top of one another.
Right, super yacht. It's my Gundam yacht. This is stupid. So this week, I was a couple of weeks behind. I managed to catch up on the most recent seasons of the DC CW shows.
Yeah.
Are you keeping up with these at all?
Yes, I am.
So I wanted to talk to you about how you're feeling about these seasons. We're talking about Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow. How you feel about it, especially in comparison to like last season, sort of across the board.
I guess show by show. I still love Legends. The Flash is a bit better. I stopped watching Arrow because I don't like it.
That's fair.
And Black Lightning is still good. There's some weird stuff happening in the most recent episodes, but I still like it.
I'm way behind on Black Lightning. Like I'm waiting for them to, because it is absolutely inevitable, port him over into the Arrowverse proper.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm going to have to go back. Like I watched half of season 1. I'm like, I like this, and then
Yeah.
I don't know. I fell off of it.
Also Supergirl.
Yes.
I'm not a fan of.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it so far.
Okay.
Like Supergirl in particular. Like it feels like I was not hot on last season.
Yeah.
At all. It feels like we stopped going in that direction in almost every conceivable sense, and we went back to what they were doing in season 2. I thought what they were doing really well in season 2, and now as far as like really delving in specifically to kind of current social and political issues, I like a great deal that the villain, Agent of Liberty, has pretty much the exact same backstory as Bruce Wayne in Batman v Superman.
Mm-hmm.
As if they watched that movie and they went, wait a minute, he's not good. Like this is a bad guy. This is like a villain origin story.
Yeah.
I like that it's, like he doesn't come from wealth and privilege the way Bruce Wayne does, but that it's pretty much the same origin, right down to the visuals of watching a Kryptonian punch their enemy into a building.
Yeah.
I'm liking all of that a lot.
Okay. I like ideas in it. I don't necessarily enjoy the execution of a lot of it. So I was talking to my roommate earlier this week about last week's episode where essentially Jimmy decides, or James Olsen decides that he's going to give a platform to the guy who is behind the mask of Agent Liberty, and I took issue with that, in that like I don't feel like someone who is a part of a marginalized group would give a platform to someone who is essentially spouting hate. Like I could see the positions being reversed, in that like Jimmy is like, no, we can't do this, and Lena being like, I feel bad because I kind of screwed his family over. We should do this. I'm your boss. And I feel like that is more true to the characters and like what we have established, as opposed to it being the other way around, where I feel like the writers forgot that Jimmy was black.
Interesting.
And so like I think that my main issue with this season of Supergirl is I feel like it is a little heavy-handed and doesn't really have a lot of the like nuance that it used to.
Interesting. See, I feel like there's enough nuance there for me. I agree that we're hitting a lot of what we're hitting really hard.
Yeah.
But I feel like if the show's going to go for that stuff, I kind of appreciate that they are going to really go for it. Like they're not going to dress it up too. Like there's aliens and whatnot. Like, but we're being very, 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 very pointed about what we're talking about when we're talking about, refugees and xenophobia and like the actual specific issues we're addressing, I kind of appreciate that they're really not pulling any punches in that regard. If anything, they're going like you're saying, maybe for your taste, a little too far in that direction.
Right.
But I would much rather the show lean in than lean back on it.
Gotcha.
So, and like for that, it's working. Especially now, it's like it's hard. If you have compassion for other people, I think right now it's hard not to look at some of the things that are happening and feel a little bit angry.
Yeah.
And I like that in not pulling any punches, I like that watching the show kind of feels like almost a little bit of a primal scream in that regard. And I feel like, I as an audience member could use a little bit of that, you know, like a show that is so willing to go, yeah, no, we see what's happening too, and this is horrible. So let's try and figure out how we can be better.
Gotcha.
I really, Supergirl especially, and that was one of my favorite aspects of the second season as well. It's like I really, really appreciate that aspect of it.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Flash is a bit better. It's still kind of too early for me to really know one way or the other. Chris Klein is there,
yeah.
So that's something.
For Flash, I feel like I like that it feels like we're getting back to the roots of what made the Flash a breakout show, and that like they're getting back to the heart of it. It's more about like character interactions and developing backstories and all that stuff. And I like that they found a new way to give us more metas, and they've introduced the idea of like meta technology, which I think is really cool.
It's an interesting idea, yeah.
So I like that aspect of it. I think some of the subplots I can take or leave.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, like I like that we're getting back to form.
How are you feeling about Nora overall?
I think that the actress is doing a great job. I think that her issue, she has, if you don't know and you're not watching her issue, she has an issue with Iris. And I think that now where they've gotten to, I think they did a good job of kind of settling that out. At the beginning, I was peeved with it.
Did it seem like kind of manufactured drama?
A bit.
Well, so
yes.
Nora, no, if you don't watch The Flash, this is all going to be gibberish to you, but Nora is Barry and Iris's daughter from the future, who's also a speedster, and so she's got beef with her mom because of the way when, in the future, they actually have their daughter. She's very restrictive and almost draconian from Nora's point of view.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of tension between them in our present when she meets the woman who will eventually be her mom.
Yeah.
It's a little convoluted.
A little convoluted. I think the one other thing that I want, and this isn't like an issue. It's just like I think that me as a person would have liked a little bit more hesitance that like this person is their daughter. So like there's this I don't know if you watch Young Justice.
I have not actually seen it. I've had people yelling at me to watch it for years, but I have not yet.
It's really good. When they come out with the next season, I would recommend doing a trial of.
It's going to be on the DC.
It's going to be on the DCU. Yeah. So I would recommend doing a trial of that and marathoning it. But when they discover Superboy, like he meets Superman, and Superman's like, I don't want to do this. This isn't. You're not my son. I'll see you later. I'm not going to talk to you. He's real weird about it. And I would have liked a little bit more of that, but that's just my own personal preference.
They definitely got on board with this idea real quick.
Oh, like so fast.
Especially when, like, do you remember like that one time when some guy came from the future and said he was Jay Garrick and then killed your dad? Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
No? Okay. All right. Never mind, Barry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. So it's certainly not the weirdest thing that's happened to them.
Yeah, I think it's literally just a personal preference, just because like I feel like when if you're able to like do a little bit of character work, I really like those moments of like characters coming to terms with things, and like because I feel like it's more true to both Iris and Barry, especially because it's taken them so long to get to this point that like they've gotten married and they're like just settled in, and so like to have this other thing thrown upon them, I think would have been really interesting to see them like kind of reconcile with. But it kind of just happened a little quickly, and it helped that they had Joe kind of easing them through it. It just felt weird.
It's something else worth mentioning too, like not gonna be very much Joe for the foreseeable future because I guess Jesse L. Martin hurt his back.
Oh,
So I believe last I heard, he's currently on medical leave from the show. And that's why, like, this season so far, when you have seen him, he's mostly been sitting.
Yeah.
And not been terribly involved because I guess he's gotta recuperate.
Yeah.
That's a bummer though. Like I love what he brings to the show.
Yeah.
And especially if they are, like, as it feels like they're returning to form in a lot of ways, it's just, it's a bummer that it's a bigger bummer that Jesse L. Martin's kind of having to deal with that.
Yeah.
But it's by extension a bummer that his presence is currently missing from the show.
Yeah. I mean, I think it will give them an opportunity to do the Obi-Wan thing where, like, now that these two are acting like parents, it gives them a chance to, like, try to figure those things out on their own. So, like, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. It depends on how the writers go about doing it.
And then Arrow's better so far than it was last season. That's what I got.
Yeah.
It's better so far. I mean, honestly, like, if it really wasn't doing it for you, I don't think this season was going to sway you back.
Yeah.
But it's better. Improvement. Okay. I feel like the show probably peaked with their 5th season, which I thought was very strong pretty much throughout. And now it seems like maybe we don't know where to take a lot of those pieces, but there's a new showrunner this season, so, like, I don't know, it's like a wait and see type thing.
Okay.
And Legends is still a blast.
Yeah,
and
Legends is awesome.
I'm very much looking forward to this crossover too, which is in as of this recording, a couple of weeks. It's only a couple of weeks away.
Yeah, I believe so.
The Elseworlds crossover, which is going to be bringing back John Wesley Shipp as 1990s Barry Allen from the CBS Flash series.
Nice.
And then also, like, bringing back Superman and introducing Lois Lane and Batwoman. Also, we keep, like, name dropping Gotham on these shows now, which I think is really fun. That excites me. Mm-hmm. Like, I've been waiting for something like that for quite some time.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's fun, right? Like, and then we can sort of move on from these. But I don't know if you saw the news, but John Cryer is going to be playing Lex Luthor on Supergirl.
Oh yeah.
I would not have thought of John Cryer for that in a million years, and now I really would like to see what that looks like.
Yeah. My roommate was telling me that he's apparently only like 5 years in difference in age from whatever the lady's name, his mom's character. So that'll be interesting to be like,
time travel.
I'm 5. That's my mom, and she's like, no. But yeah, I haven't seen that guy play a villain before, and I would very much like to see his take.
Well, it's also a bit of legacy casting because he was Lenny Luthor in Superman 4: The Quest for Peace.
Was he? Oh,
like Lex's nephew, I think is supposed to be.
Okay.
Because they didn't have Otis in that movie. Ned Beatty, who was Luthor's sidekick in the first couple of movies, and we have an Otis on Supergirl. That spoilers had an Otis on Supergirl for a second.
Yeah.
Then we got like a little sliver of an Otisburg reference, which I thought was pretty great.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm very curious. I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like, and hopefully he'll get to go mano a mano with Tyler Hoechlin's Superman at least one time.
Yeah, that'd be pretty tight. All right, so I'm gonna talk about my thing.
Yeah,
now.
what do you like?
Ooh, I'm actually into. There's this podcast called More Perfect. The concept is it's a spinoff of Radiolab, which is a WNYC public access NPR show, basically. And the More Perfect is specifically about cases that have gone through the Supreme Court, and it will sometimes take episodes to trace back the origin of some of the laws that we have, that the precedent itself was set in the Supreme Court. And so they did they're in their 3rd season. Their 3rd season is specifically what they call the Most Perfect album. And so what they did was they reached out to a bunch of different musical artists, and they were like, hey, are you guys interested in creating some music or a song that that is inspired by one of the amendments. And so these people got together and like essentially created, I think it's like 35 different songs. And so and it's for the 27 amendments. And then so each individual episode goes through it has a little tidbit, of the song, and then it'll also give you a little story relating to that amendment, and the person who made the song will talk about their connection to it and how it inspired it. And it's really cool, really well sound designed. A lot of very interesting stories, a lot of actually bangers. Dolly Parton did a song as well, which was really cool. So I highly recommend it. Both More Perfect in general, but this third season I feel like is really captivating, especially if you're not super familiar with all 27 of the amendments.
Right.
It's a really cool way to get into it and look and do a deep dive into what they all mean and how they affect us on a daily basis. And it also is a cool way to give context to this album that they created. So like you hear the song and you hear the little tidbit, and then like it connects you with the amendment, and then like if you listen to the album itself, like you can hear the full version and be like, yeah, this is awesome. So I really like it.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
You goddamn better. I'm gonna beat you up if you don't. Ooh boy, are you ready to feel these furies against your face features?
So ready. You know how I love fury in my face features.
As you should.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, let us know what you're into. Hit us up at Missing Outcast. That's MissingOutcast. Or you could hit up the Missing Out hotline, which is 978-MISS-OUT. Leave us a voicemail. Let us know what you're into or what you think about things that we talked about recently, whether it be More Perfect or the MCU or something to that effect. Let us know, guys. Keep in touch. But if you want to talk to us as individuals, Lex Michael, where can they find you?
I am on Twitter and Instagram at the Lex Michael.
Nice. And you can find me at Tari J. That's TAURIJAY. And make sure to tune in tomorrow, where we're going to be talking about Soul Food, the 1997 sweet movie about food and family. So check it out, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.